you guys see that movie?
Which one?
The one with the robots? What are you laughing at?
Yeah! I saw that movie.
What
There you go.
happens?
I want to see it though.
Can you just tell me what happens?
I forget what
I don't
happened.
want to watch it.
Tell us.
Alright.
Start to finish. Start to finish.
It starts with the guy.
Alright.
Wait. It starts with the guy, and they're fighting on the field. And they're like, and then they shoot him.
Alright.
And then they're walking towards the cliff, and then they get attacked by some like robot helicopter. Then they jump
Were
off
you
the
gonna say
cliff.
a hot helicopter?
A hot
No, I don't know.
A hot chick.
I'd turn it into a hot.
So then they jump down, and then they go to this like underground base that the robots always had or something like that. And then there's like dead bodies. They're like, oh, what do we do? And they're like, we gotta tell someone. Alright, let's go. So then they go back up the cliff, and then they start attacking. Like, boom, boom, boom. So then they're running, and then he goes on the helicopter. He's like, oh, let's get out of here. So then he goes on the helicopter, and they leave. But right before they leave, they get attacked, and then the helicopter, like, starts falling down. And he's like, no, we're gonna die. So then everyone dies, except for the main guy. And then he calls for help, and he's like, oh. And then they're like, who's there? No one. and then they go back to the base, to their, like, rebellion base, whatever they are. And then they start talking about the robots, and then they gotta kill them. And then, what else happened? Oh, and then they find this, like, thing. It's like a transmission or something, or when you play it, it shuts down the robots. It's like, and then it shuts the robots down, so they're like, yeah, we're gonna win. And then it just goes to this other guy. It's like the scene out of nowhere, and he's just walking randomly in this, like, abandoned city.
Abandoned
City, and everything's like crushed and down and bad. And he's just walking, and then he sees a Terminator, not the Terminator, just a Terminator. And then it starts shooting. He's like, no. and then he gets attacked, and then he's walking, and someone saves him, because a car falls on top of the Terminator.
And then
he notices it's some like 13. Ow! It's some 13-year-old, 14, 15-year-old kid that just saved him with a little like deaf and mute girl or mute girl. I don't know what the fuck she is. So he's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm a little kid. And he's like, who are you? And he can't talk.
I'm hungry.
And then they're like, who are you? And he's like, in your business. So then they're like, it's your fault. All the robots are gonna come and kill us now. And he's like, no, it's your fault. So then they're like, we gotta get out of here. And they're like, okay. So then the next morning.
Wait, is that the end of the movie?
No.
Alright.
The next
So the next morning, they gotta go like find a random car and then fix it. So they fix it. And then they fix a Jeep. So then they get on it and they start running or driving. Because there's like a humongous robot ship that's chasing them. So then they're going. And then...
Stop that.
Oh.
Go on.
And then they like leave. Or they kill it or destroy it, whatever the fuck it is. And then they find these other people in another abandoned city. And then they're like, we're hungry and we need gas. And then they're like, no, it's ours. You can't have any. And then some old lady comes out of nowhere. And he goes, you want food? And she's like, yeah. And she gives food to the little girl. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? And then out of nowhere, a big ass robot hand comes. And it like crushes the building and it grabs the old lady. And then they put her in some like containment thing inside the robot. So then they're all running. They're like,
The robot ate the lady.
No, yeah. So they keep them inside the big ass robot as prisoners. Kind of like the War of the Worlds,
Yeah.
where they like put them in there.
Yeah.
So she's like, no. So then they start running away, and they're like, oh my god, we're gonna die. So then the guy and the little kid, they like pour a whole bunch of gasoline and they make a big trail, and then they light it and boom! And then and, oh.
Need matches.
Cool. I don't have matches.
Oh, do you have a lighter?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Bye.
And then it makes a big explosion. And then it makes a big explosion. And then they're like, yeah! So they start driving away. And then they look back and the big ass robot's still alive. So then it starts chasing them. And then they trip them, I think.
They tripped the robot.
They trip the big ass robot.
Did one of them get behind the robot and the other one push him?
Yeah.
It's going to be funny.